What's up, fight fans? We have a lot to talk about. I'm gonna let a lot of you join the live stream. To the bottom. Oh, these is I had it on the other side. Well, at least I know you hear me, right? Let me set up the chat for you guys. What's up, frontline? Salute, my brother. How you doing? What's up, kid? Kid forever. Kids forever. What's up, baby? How you doing? Thank you for joining the live stream. And as you join the live stream, look, I'm just gonna get this episode on and ready because there has been a lot said, and it seems like uh you have a few people come on and they watch the beginning of your video, they don't want to watch the rest, and I'm more of a conversationalist. I break it out during a duration of a story, but I'm gonna get right to it right now. Okay. Please smash that like button on your way in, guys. So look, here's the good, the bad, and the ugly in the Ryan debacle. A lot of people are saying that we have to wait for the test result for May 22nd. That's a lie. That's a lie. And I'm going to explain why. Okay. Here's the truth, right? And here's where we're at. You have to understand that, first of all, Ryan Garcia is the one that introduced VADA to the equation, meaning when Ryan was having the meltdown, he's the one that hired an outside source to test him. But he didn't just hire any outside source. He hired one that had a credible background with dealing with professional athletes. Now, I want you to know that if someone from VADA went to Devin Haney's house during the fight week and knocked on Devin Haney's door, right? Devin Haney doesn't have to take that test. First of all, it's not sanctioned. He could call the New York Boxing Athletic Commission and say, "Did you just send Vada to my house?" They're going to say no. And he's going to say, "Well, then I don't got to take your test." That's why they never test Devin Haney, right? The people that test Devin Haney were the people that the New York Boxing Athletic Boxing Association hired. They test Ryan and they test Devin Haney. Vada never tests Devin Haney. They test Ryan Garcia. He hired them to come into the equation. Remember that. Okay. All right. But that doesn't get him out of it. That means he volunteered himself for random blood tests, for doping testing. And once you do that, it's kind of like being on a block and then 50 drive by and you get a change of heart and you say, "You know what? I don't want this life no more. Here, officer, here are my drugs." Just because you had a change of heart and you gave them your drugs, guess what? You still gonna get charged for them drugs, right? Okay. Just because you're the one that submitted to random drug testing, guess what? You're the one that gonna get charged with it. Okay. VADA issued their findings to the New York Boxing Athletic Commission, and this is what I find strange in the whole matter. Okay. Okay. First of all, they tested them in vial test. Now they're talking about they want to test vial B. You have to understand, first of all, that whatever came out in vial A is going to come out in vial B exactly the same way. If vial B in any way comes back tainted, different, that's VADA's credibility as a doping agent. Their credibility for testing athletes will go down the drain. This isn't the world is watching this. So I don't need for test B to come back. I already know what test B is going to say. It's going to say the same thing test A said. That's a fact, Jack. Okay? And VADA's rocking on that. You also got to understand that these doping agencies do not have your best interests at heart. They're trying to find Ryan Garcia guilty. They want a plaque on their wall for another athlete taken down. There's a list of men and women that have been taken down from VADA. Okay, through the course of the history on the doping. If you want to find this out, it's not like a mystery. Just Google boxers that failed doping. You'll be amazed at the people that are on the list. There's people like Tyson Fury, Julio Cesar Chavez, Canelo Alvarez, Roy Jones Jr., Tony, uh, 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 who else? Berto, Andro Berto. There's a lot of boxers on that list, bro, that have failed, and they're on it already. Okay, so here. This is where we're at right now. People have to stop fighting the fact that Ryan Garcia is a billionth of a gram over, 60 times over the legal limit, whatever they're trying to say, because they're trying to say that he was in some channels, he was 60 times over the limit, or he was 100% on the gram, whatever. Okay. Here's the ironic thing to this whole story that I'm starting to like really step back and say, wow, this is what timing. You guys do know that the lady that was working in the New York Boxing Athletic Commission resigned. She stepped down 3 days ago, 4 days ago, something like that. The lady stepped down from her job. And then the letter that she issued online said that she was gonna take the time to deal with her elderly parents, and she wanted to thank the world for everything that boxing is giving her, and that she's gonna contribute to boxing in other areas. Huh? The boxing commissioner that's overseeing the Ryan case resigned just 4 days ago. What? By her resigning, you guys do realize now that kind of gets them off the hook. That means they sacrificed that lady or whatever. I don't know what's going on. But if she resigns, she doesn't have to answer any questions on the way out. No, she doesn't. And the new guy that's coming in doesn't have to answer any questions because he doesn't know what's going on. Basically bullshit like that. It's basically what they're going to say in a nutshell. There's a lot of politics in between, but I just spared us all of that. That's basically what's being said. Then I said to myself, well, then shit. All this shit, right? To get to this point right here, what they told Ryan Garcia's father. He went on Mill City on YouTube, a YouTube channel. Shout out to Mill City, right? He does the interview on Mill City, and he says he's gonna start a movement because they informed him, okay, you have to understand, Mr. Garcia, that no matter where your son got the banned substance in his body, it's there. We just got to prove, and we're leaning more towards that he ingested a tainted substance. We just got to find it. We got to be able to test it, and I'll be able to tell you where it came from. Once we know where it came from, we are going to issue your son a suspension. And he's pissed. He wants to fight that in court. He's like, nah, how are you going to suspend my son? And the people are telling him, because it's the rules. Every athlete in the world is responsible for what they put into their bodies, period. So whether it was put there intentionally or an accident, he's guilty. And Garcia was informed about this, and he's in an uproar. He's like, how the fuck is he going to still be guilty? Garcia doesn't understand, and everything they went through to put these rules in place, been women cheating in the past. So now they're saying, yo, athlete, you know what? We're tired of your bullshit. We're tired of you guys coming up with fancy lawyers, fancy doctors, all these fucking things to slither around it. Guess what? Now you guys are all held accountable no matter what goes into your body, because they proved that in order for it to get in your body, brother, you would have had to have taken it. What did you take? They want to know. You see, and they could prove that maybe in some situation it was accidental. Granted, he still has to get a suspension. So and then people are going to use that and say he's a cheater, right? But it's going to come out due to the suspension. If you see they gave him a 6-month suspension or 3-month suspension, they ruled it a tainted substance. If you see a bigger suspension with bigger fines, he was cheating, brother, and they got to come out and address it, and they will. Okay. As far as Devin Haney writing an 8-page letter to the boxing commission, the New York Boxing Commission, remember now, that's going to fall under the new guy. Okay. Devin Haney writes that because in 2016, this other guy got the fight overturned due to the dude popping it for the same banned substance, Osterine, and all this other stuff. What they're misleading the people with is that since that time, there has been rules in place and a lot of study going into the effects of oxygen and how it was getting into people's body. In fact, it was later revealed that that same very case could have been a case of tainted where he drunk a banned substance. And they're not telling you everything that was in that case. Okay. The people that are reporting this to you. Since that time, VADA issued statements saying and admitting that there has been multiple ban cases where oxygen was put into dietary supplements and that athletes were coming up tested positive for it. You understand? So when VADA themselves realized this, they realized, wait a minute, maybe we were finding guys guilty that in fact didn't intentionally ingest this. You see? So they started going back on their rules. Devin Haney, for one, he's not going to want to get the win overturned, and that the fact that they give Devin Haney the win, he's not going to want that kind of criticism, because for the rest of his life, they're going to be talking about that fight. What Devin Haney is looking forward to do is getting a DQ or no contents, right? Where that it awards him that he didn't lose, okay? But here's what a lot of people are not taking in consideration. Wait a minute, Devin Haney, you want everything now, right? Hold on. Before the fight took place, you, your lawyers, your promoter, everybody went into a room and you were notified that Ryan Garcia missed weight by 3.5 pounds. You agreed to a dollar amount. And you also agreed that win, lose, or draw, you remain champion. That was in the new agreement. You said yes. You're lucky that you're still the WBC champion of the world, because technically, even in a loss, you should not be the champion, Devin Haney. So he wants to be the champion. He wants the O back, and then he wants it to count as a win. Brother, you got your ass whooped. There's not no steroids that he was on that can make him perform like that and make you underperform. Devin Haney, what was up with your performance? What did you do in the ring? But yet, you're going to listen to everybody that's whispering in your ear and telling you all this nonsense about, no, Devin, you should, hey, get the win back, everything. No, I'll agree to one thing, right? He remains champion and he got the money for the suspension, for him missing the weight. That's what I'll agree to. Everything else should stay the same. The law should stay there. Ryan Garcia should get credit for the win, and life should go on. And they need to stop crying. Devin Haney, this is boxing. Bro, you lost. So what? Move on. This is not going to make or break you. You're still the damn champion. That's your benefit. That you're still walking away with the WBC title after a loss. Why don't you take that with you? And you taking the money. Stop trying to like double dip, bro. Because it's going to make you look bad, Devin Haney. Yo, I've learned in my life, that once you confront shit head on and you face what happened like a man, right? You're able to move forward. All this is going to keep playing in the back of your mind all the time, Devin Haney, because now you're opening up court cases. The media is going to be still flash. As long as you keep talking about it, as long as this story is not going to go away. Devin Haney, you need to concentrate on your next fight. It's not going to change what we all witnessed with our own eyes. Devin Haney. Let's say in a good world, they overturn everything. That's not going to stop me from remembering what I saw with my own two eyes. And I know for a fact, because of what came out on test A, the maximum of everything on test A is public record. Do you guys, look, I'm not sure if everybody knows what grams are in life, but there's a few people I believe that know what grams are. And if you don't, real quick, go to calculator or whatever, look up a gram. 1 gram. What they're saying he had in his system were 60 times, billion times a gram. Billion. A billionth. So if you're not saying it's the entire gram, if 60 billions was more than 1 gram, why wouldn't they just say 1 gram? Why wouldn't they say 60 billion grams? No, they said 60 times billion of a percent of 1 gram. You know what that means? If this whole thing weighs 1 gram, what's the billions of it? Bro, that's fucking like this. And if you need 30 milligrams of Oshadine in your system a day for at least 1 week, so that's 30 milligrams every day building up in your system, okay? So the level amount of 1 week would have been, so let's say he took it for 1 week and he was coming off. Let's say he was already on his tail end. Why would you do that? If that's admitting that you were on your tail end, then you ain't getting no effects of it. How could you use something that's dropping down in your own body, already breaking down, but be getting full effects of it? Where's a drug that works like that? In order for you to get the benefit of the PE of any steroid, it would have to build up in your system. That's how that works. And then you can get the maximum out of it. But if you're already going off of it, that means the height of it was way back there somewhere. So what is he fighting him with? It wouldn't have been worth it when there was a lot of other things he could have used and got out of his system. They got fast acting PEs, bro. 24 hours. They're expensive as fuck, but they got them, right? Why would he use that? And that shit right there, they usually put it in a dietary substance because the drug itself, the PE itself, you know what it's for, right? To cut weight, to speed your metabolism up. So, look, this is what I'm saying, guys. I don't need test B to come back. I don't need it to come back. I can almost guarantee it that test B is going to be identical to test A. It's going to be the same thing because I can fucking tell you right now, you don't have to tell me anything. The minute, and I mean the second, if test B comes back, anything different, Ryan's clear. You know what a mistrial is? You know what a mistrial is, right? Where you go to court and either the DA fuck up or someone fucks up in the case where that your lawyer gets up and says, I want to put in for a mistrial because y'all fucked up and did some dumb shit and now they're throwing the case out. That's a mistrial. If vial B comes back, that's a mistrial. That means you can't believe anything in the sample in sample A. Then what are you going to do? Go test Ryan now? Everything falls apart. So vial B must come back as vial A for this case to continue, people. I don't need test B to come back. I know what it is, and I know where we're at already. Bro, everybody else, the commission, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney behind the scenes are a lot further than everybody else in the world. Everybody else in the world is arguing points. This point, this, what they should do, what they believe should happen. And what I'm telling you guys, open your eyes. This is over with. This is open and closed case book. There's nothing to talk about. Ryan's going to get suspended. It just depends on for how long. He can prove his innocence, people. He can go to court. The judge can award him victory. The judge himself can exonerate Ryan Garcia, and that would only be for his credibility. But as for the Boxing Athletic Commission, they must, by law, suspend him. There's no way around it. A judge couldn't order them not to suspend Ryan, is what I'm telling you. The rules are the rules. And we've been here before 100,000 times with athletes testing positive over all the sports in the world, including baseball, football, hockey, tennis, golf, you name it. Everybody that has ever tested positive in the entire world, that's why that rule has been put in place, that the athlete themselves are responsible for anything that enters their body, period. Bro, I am an athlete. I know this. I know this is a fact. You can't listen. Why you think Ryan Garcia's his father is on Mill City? I'm threatening to start a movement to take down that very rule. He's already been informed. Listen, there's no way your son can get around this. No way. There's no way around it. It just depends how he's going to go down. That's it. But I said all of that to say this. It's up to you to determine whether he cheated or not. And there's going to be that steroid guy that comes out and says, he didn't get any benefits out of it, right? And then there's going to be them people that say, because, people just like to say things because for a brief second it makes sense, right? They're going to say, how could you have a drug in your system and have no benefits? Simple. I said this. If you did cocaine on Saturday night and you were geeked up wherever you were in the world on Friday night, Sunday morning, Monday morning, you're at your job and they pop a random drug screening, you're going to pop dirty for cocaine. But are you feeling the effects of it? No. You're not feeling the effects of it, but you're going to be dirty. Same situation. It's not like I woke up on Monday morning still geeked out from the bump on Friday. It's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So, look, guys, what I'm saying to you guys is that Ryan Garcia is going to get some criticism. I'm not sure if the New York Boxing Athletic Commission lady resigning has anything to do with this matter. I jokingly started saying maybe Ryan had a little thing with her and she tried to get him back. Ryan been around with a lot of women, right? That's joking. I should have never said that. You know what I'm saying? But it was hard. And I'm speaking honestly. I was like, wow, they're dealing with some lady, but I know nothing about that. That was merely just a brief thought in my head. I have nothing to back that up, and let's move on. So the lady resigns, right? And I don't know if it has anything to do with Ryan's case, but I'm saying to myself, wow, what timing? This is like timing, because, everything that was said about the letter, everybody thought that the news that was broken was leaked. Like, they knew the story was true, but Vada themselves couldn't release it, or New York released it. So they released it to an outside source. But when the outside source released it, they called him on his bullshit. So even though they called him on his bullshit and they said the letter was fake and all this other shit was fake, and it started viewing like somebody made the story up. No, they didn't make the story up. They just leaked the story. And the leak can't say where it came from. So it made up a fake story. Do you get that? That's basic media 101. You know what I'm saying? You got to make up a story, but in the back of your mind what you're saying is true. You just can't come out and really give it all up right now. So I believe that's what happened. So here are the facts. Remember, the only reason why Ryan's dirty is because of Vada. How did Vada get in the equation? Ryan hired them himself. It wasn't issued from the boxing match. It wasn't issued from the boxing association. No, those tests, Devin and Ryan both passed. Those people that test, that like the New York boxing, they got their own testers and they conducted their test. And Ryan passed and Devin Haney passed. But this is all coming out of what Ryan Garcia put on himself. Okay? There it is. And then now that it came out, yeah, it might be come back that it was a tainted substance, a dietary substance, and he took something to try to cut weight, and he popped dirty. That's probably more than likely going to come back. And he's guilty. And by that merit, he's guilty. Remember, Saul Canelo Alvarez took his thing to court 3 times. He beat it in court. The suspension they gave him for 1 year, remember, they brought it down to 3 months, the suspension. But he's not taken off the list of men and women that pop positive, is he? No. If you look him up, he's on the list. As far as professional athletes that have tested positive for PEs, Canelo Alvarez is on the list. But wait a minute, didn't he go to court and beat it? Yeah, he did. So why is he on the list? Those are the rules. There's no way around it. And I'm just letting you guys know this. What's up, fellas? Last time I was on, right, I did 2 things I wanted to address. First of all, the new Notre Dame is Armando Notre Dame, right? We're going to do it again. We're going to all run it back on a Tyson Fury Usyk fight. And we're going to see who the next Notre Dame is. I have a feeling it's going to be me. I'm going to win. I don't know. Show up, right? Then on these messages, it never shows my wrenches. So I didn't know that you guys was in. So now I'm putting it up on YouTube on the side because it actually shows the wrenches. So I see y'all in. So I thought I was by myself on that show. So I want to apologize on that one too, right? So, and yeah, yeah, guys. So hail the new Notre Dame. You know what I'm saying? Armando. You know what I mean? The Tyson Fury fight coming out. So you know how we do here at Round One Sports Talk. I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna tune in early and we're all gonna get our predictions in. I'm writing them all down. I might just do a little giveaway on this one. We don't know, okay? But as of right now, the first week winner was Lionheart. Now we got Armando. Wait a minute. Didn't I win 1 or 2 somewhere in there? Come on, guys. All right. Yeah, trying to slide in there. You know how those guys are. I'm going to be that guy. Listen, look, guys, there's a lot of things that are going to go on with the Ryan Garcia, but I don't think I could have explained it any better. And sometimes I repeat things for people that have selective hearing. And some I'll go over it and I'll say it again because look, it's very simple at this point where we're at. There's nothing else to discuss. There's only 2 things that they have to find out. That's it. This is an open and closed case. The amount he was on, did it give him any benefits or not? They're going to test vial B like they did test vial A. I know it's going to come back the exact same thing. They already got the answer to the test. And then they're going to reveal that to the public. And then they're going to discuss whether or not how much and a suspension is merit. Okay. He's saying he's going to fight Errol Spence Jr. August 10th. I believe Ryan Garcia is trying to work out that fight. I don't think that he has that kind of power. Maybe he was told this. You know how promoters are. Yeah, kid, I got you the fight. You know what I mean? And Ryan Garcia really believes that, But it seems like Ryan Garcia can't hold water. You can't tell that kid anything. Anything anybody tells him, social media, he's all over it, man. And that shit he said about George Camboza's wife, I'm not gonna get into that. I'm not even touching that. Nah. They're just certain things, man, you shouldn't play around with. Now we're not talking about boxing, so I'm not going down that road. Not here. This is a boxing channel. And if you want to know about that, you can check out Ryan Garcia's on X. He took down some of the posts, but George Camboza commented on his post. And when he did, in doing so, Ryan Garcia's post is above his. So you could still see it, everything that was said. So if you're interested, you want to see it, go ahead, go at it. I got nothing to say on that. Okay. 30 days from the Subriel. Listen, stop it. Okay. My fucking hand started itching when you said Subriel's name. Okay. Because I am excited. Listen, Subriel Matais, he's one of the biggest names coming up right now. We all know this. He's a hell of a fighter. He's coming up into Puerto Rico for the first time, and he's going to be making his first title defense in Puerto Rico. Not his first title defense altogether, no. But as of being in Puerto Rico, yes. That's his first title of defense in Puerto Rico since he obtained the IBF. This is like his homecoming because he's already fought in Puerto Rico before. But when he started off his career, Subriel fought in Puerto Rico. He just wasn't the champion. See, so this is the first time he's going to fight back in his home country as the champion. And he's going to be coming up against Liam Paro. Now, Liam Paro is undefeated, and you heard what he said on social media. He referred to Subriel's loss as the only thing Subriel Matais is better than him at. And what is that? Losing, according to Liam Paro. Well, Subriel Matias answered that. He answered that back, and he was like, well, then I'm going to introduce him to his first loss and let him know how unforgiving this sport of boxing is. You see? That thing about some men revering the O more than others, it starts to become like a prison. In the beginning, you're just like going through the motions, winning, But when it starts to get serious, now you got 32 fights and you're and now they want you to fight this killer. And you're like so close from retiring undefeated. That stops you. It makes these guys don't want to take those chances. They're locked to that and what does that come with? Sacrifice, right? That's why no one could say that about Saul Canelo Alvarez. He was just not taking the fights because he was already defeated. We really didn't understand that. Like, don't be scared to take another loss but he doesn't want to ruin his record any more than he has to. Men took and adopted that concept. Once they were beaten, they kept feeling like they can keep fighting. Manny Pacquiao suffered 8 losses. 8 losses. That hurts his legendary record. You understand? So people don't want to jeopardize, that, and some don't even want to take risk at all. I think Shakur Stevenson I think that consumed him. The old consumed him, and he passed up on some big opportunities. I know Shakur Stevenson is kicking himself in the ass after watching Ryan Garcia do that to Devin Haney. Guess what, my man? Those were your 4 belts right there. Those were your 4 belts. They were right there, brother. And he didn't dare to be great, man. So, listen, man. What's going on? What happened on 152nd Street? What are you guys doing? What's going on? Are you guys just having inside combos? Okay, Koki, what's up, baby? Randy T, how you doing? Salute front line. You know how we do here. What are you saying? I can see 10, 11 round. Yeah. Um, Liam Paro is really good as a fighter, as a boxer. Liam Paro is good. I took the time out and I went and I studied him. The one thing about Liam Paro though is like, you know, he's good. Liam Paro's good, right? He is good. But the way that I saw fighters like Ponce weather under Matias's relentless pressure, when I saw him take Catterall down like that, it was just like, Matia, his style is of a blunter, okay? And I've talked about this on several occasions. As a coach, as a coach, when you take a Subriel Matias fight, it's at what price? When you put your fighter in there to try to take this win away from Subriel Matias, how's your fighter going to come out of that fight? Is he ever going to be the same? How many miles did you just put on your fighter just to try to go out there and beat Subriel Matias? Subriel Matias is going to take a lot from these fighters. It's going to take a lot to beat him. Yeah, you might beat him, you might give him an ass whooping, but you're not walking out of that ring unscathed. Your fighter might not be ready to fight for quite some time after a Subriel Matias fight. Just ask the last 5 opponents. Those guys, some of them, only some of them so far have talked about recuperating after those ass whoopings Matias put on them. Guys said that their brains were rattling for weeks. One guy said he was falling in and out of concussion. Yeah, that's how severe those beatings were. You don't Once the adrenaline comes out of you and that face starts to swell up and he's laying back in the hotel room with ice packs around his face, that's when the coach starts to realize maybe this wasn't a good idea. Subriel Matias, he's a different kind of fighter. I truly believe there's something dark inside of the back of his mind that he loves to get hit and go forward. Yeah, he likes to see the expression of his opponent change. I think he gets something out of it. I remember a man told me one time, or I was a young man, I was coming up, and he said, every time I knock somebody out in my head, it was like I took a piece of their soul with me. It was his own personal thing. I know that didn't really happen, but mentally, that's what it did for him. You know what I'm saying? And I think men really thrive on punishing their fighters. I don't think every man likes to knock their opponent out. You ever hear the expression playing with your food? I truly believe Subriel Matia likes to play with his food. He does possess one punch knockout power, but I think he relishes the fight and the battle itself rather than, he's the type of guy that makes me think that he wishes he had a few more rounds just to whoop your ass. Yeah. Like after the 12 rounds, like just give me a couple. Yeah, he doesn't want the beating to stop. I've seen men like that. And it's going to take the right combinations and the right skilled guy. See, your creator's God, and I don't want to offend anybody. So I said the word creator. So it makes it more broad. I don't speak religion here. Sometimes they give you abilities, but they don't give it to you all. Subriel Matias' true ability, God gifted talent, is the ability to weather a storm, and just his ability to slip punches on the inside, and it may look like you're like really hurting him, but out of that four-piece combination, he probably blocked three of them and you got one in, to tell you the truth. It's not like the guy's hitting him, pow, 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 and his jaw, his face is snapping. No, if you really pay attention to Subriel Matias, yeah, he's getting hit, yes, but it's like this shot hit him, this shot blocked, this shot blocked, this shot might have hit him, this shot was blocked, this shot was blocked, and then on end, he's like, okay, now it's my turn. Bam, 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 and he's just bludgeoning his guy. Honestly, even in his loss, I didn't see Subriel Matias's face expression change to worriness. You knew that he was mad at his performance when he lost. He was going through, the Duracek fight, Max fight, Maxi Hughes, I think it was. Not a Maxi Hughes. I got his name correct. Maxi, he was Russian, that's right. But his name's Max. So when a fighter goes through something like that, let me be the first to tell you, right? That as a young man, I remember feeling so strong. And there was a time in my life, yeah, I truly believe that if I hit a person the right way, I might kill him. Yeah, I really believe that. I was knocking dudes out, like once I got to this point, like it was funny when I was younger, I didn't have that kind of shot. I never did. Even through my teenage years, I never possessed anything like that. Even as my adults, like I was 24, 25. Then when I got like right around there, it changed. It changed. Like I developed technique. Technique was different. My technique was different. And that's when you learn how to really hit it. You don't need a lot of power. You can use their momentum, and you start to learn these things, right? So Subriel Matias, man, it's in his technique, the way he delivers his punches. Yes, it is. But you know, in order to pull his style off, you're gonna need a granite chin too. You're gonna need a granite chin. You're gonna need, to be able to stand in the fire, like that, to pull those kind of styles off. It's not really easily, pulled off or so. But yeah, man, look, um, look, I always want to give every fighter their just dues. It's gonna really take a lot for me to believe that Subriel Matias is gonna come into Puerto Rico and like be on the shittiest of all nights. I don't see that happening. I see that Liam Barrow's gonna come in, uh, the best shape of his life, but he has never fought the kind of opponent that is Subriel Matias. I don't think Liam Paro is even going to look of a fraction of the man he looks like against those other guys. I really believe that Subriel Matias is going to shut that shit down early, and there's gonna become a point in the fight, just like everybody else, or Subriel Matias's opponent. They all do the same fucking thing at some point for some reason. They decide to stand in front of him and exchange. They stop running on their bike. Whatever he's doing, whatever that power is slowing him down, all those shots to the body, to the arms, to the shoulders, all those shots, eventually they stand right in front of him. And once every man I've seen that stood in front of Subriel Matia, it was just a matter of time. That's it. So um look, he's rocking 100% knockout ratio right now against all opponents. Liam Paro, I commend him for taking this fight. He's giving us a mega fight. Liam Paro is putting it all on the line too. His O Like I spoke about it in this day of sports, and O sometimes can consider like a small world titles in some cases, if that O is big enough. The wins got to be in front of it. You can't be 3-0, 10-0. No, you got to have like, a big number for 35-0, 32-0. When you start having numbers like that, now that O is big. That's when the O is pretty big. Now when you're 4-0, 7-0, 12-0, nah, the O is not that big. It's not that big, is it? No. But when you start getting up there, yeah, that O, so Liam Paro got a decent record with that O. He's got a decent one. And the fact that he has the WBO Global Interim title, which shows that he's champion material. He's champion material. He's a worthy opponent. You know what I mean? He ain't no tomato can, that's for sure. So yeah. This was in the 90s. What are you guys talking about? Let me see. Whoa. That dude I know moved up. And bro, yeah. Oh, you guys are talking about some street shit. Oh, it's a tough fight, Amando, for both of them. Yeah, well, I think that it's more of a, it's a tough fight, but I still give the edge to Subriel Matais. If you ask me, this is a 60-40 fight. I'm going to honor Liam Paro's credentials. I'm going to honor the way he took care of his opposition. I want to keep it in mind. He does have knockout power. He is an interim champion, and he is undefeated. Okay, you can't write those things off, because if you don't acknowledge that and he pulls a victory, at least we can say, no, he was no tomato can. This was a tough fight. But if you call him a bum going into it, then you're going to say a bum beat your guy. You see how that works? Nah. That's why putting down your competition sometimes is not ideally the right thing to do. You want to make sure you talk up your competition just like he talks you up. So when you beat him, they give you the credibility of beating that kind of guy. You don't want them to be like, oh, he's a tomato can, he's a bum. Nah, don't do that. Nah, acknowledge what he done. Give him respect for his accomplishments. Because when Subriel knocks him out, he beat that kind of fighter, guys. Not a bum. We can't go and allow people to drag us in storylines and get us mad at Liam Paro. And Liam Paro has actually never said anything to us. Well, all that shit about Matias being better than him at losing. Yeah, you might have to answer for that one, homeboy. But everything else, okay? Meaning I don't take it personal. Meaning I don't take it personal. I'm going to hype up Liam Paro like I want to hype up Subriel, you know? And I want to give the man his credit. Look, no one else would take this fight. No one would sign on the dotted line. For all those tough men out there. Oh, I'll fight him, Subriel Matias. Yeah, I'll fight him. Tell him the minute he got his eggs in order, Subriel, he fixed his hand, signed with Ed Hearns, got somebody to back him. Bro, crickets. Crick, 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 crick. Everybody's like, nah, I got a fight schedule. Matias, who are you talking about? Nobody would sign to fight him. Nobody. So, Liam Paro, listen, with all due respect, brother, thank you. Thank you for giving us this fight and this opportunity. I can't thank you enough because it lands on my birthday, right? Right? It's actually like the day after, So I'm like, that's a great birthday present for myself, So I'm going to go out there. I'm going to be there covering the fight. I'm going to try to give you guys as much as I can. And I can't wait to have a great night. You know, uh, look, with every fight the champions go in, It's always a risk, as we can see. Now, yeah, in a way, got knocked down. Yeah, he did for the first time in his career. He responded like a true champion, got up off the ground, knocked Luis Pantera out. Yo, championship shit. And Subriel Matias, um, when it seems like after every victory that he has, it seems like no matter how far he runs, that Max fight is gonna always haunt him, and uh you know I was gonna say it early in the video, but I must have got distracted because I don't remember saying it. But uh, as a fighter, you always think that like I was explaining, there was a point in time I just thought I could kill somebody, right? With my shot. And you talk about that, right? And then in certain tournaments, you keep fighting like the same group of guys, and he beats you and you beat him, type shit. And in my situation, he felt like he got the best of me in sparring. It wasn't even in a fucking fight, it was in sparring. So, like, you know uh you say these things out loud. One of these days I'm gonna kill one of these dudes in this ring, and y'all ain't gonna be happy until I kill one of y'all, right? And you be like, man, I'm gonna do it. And then when it happens, it's not even like you could beat your chest. It's not even like you can take solace in what you just did. It kind of turns on you, and you start to realize that that man had a wife. He was a father, and you realize you were just fighting your heart out. Inside you were hitting them as hard as you could because this was competition. You were doing your job. But do you really think he wanted that to happen? I don't think so. And it showed in his next two fights where that he lost. He came into that fight unprepared. He looked like, he was a little thicker in that fight. Didn't really look like the volume puncher, Subriel Matias. And he had to come back and confront himself. First, he confronted himself, his life. His brother passed away. His mother looking at her son. She already lost one son. And she's saying, Subriel, you have an opportunity. But and then at the same time, I can imagine Subriel's wife and daughters are saying to Subriel, see, they're not looking at it like, you know, this fatality happened to him. Subriel's wife and kids are looking at him and asking him, Dad, what if this happens to you? What if someone kills you in the ring? You see? And I think that Subriel had to make some real soul searching and realize that, his brother, Max, in boxing, because that's his brother, right? This is the same sport they're all in. I really truly believe Max would have wanted him to continue, you know, and I've talked about this. I couldn't imagine any other way to give my life to the very thing I love. If I had to choose, we're all gonna go one day. There's no way around it. So if since we never get to choose, if I had to choose, man, it'd probably be the thing I mostly love and enjoy doing. So uh he got himself together and he rematched that fight 2 years later. And it really showed when you watch both fights. Even though I don't think Subriel was knocked down in that first fight, that little bullshit standing 8 count that the ref jumped in and gave to him, that was the deciding factor inside of the fight. He was up on the, but let him go down then. You know what I mean? So, but the ref intervened, gave him standing 8 count, and that was pretty much, and a lot of us felt that was bullshit. He actually didn't go down. So Subriel relives the fight, and it shows that since then He's really dialed in. He's here for real. You know, he might have had to talk to his brother. Maybe he had to go and pray, talk to his brother, and he came to the conclusion that his brother would have wanted to dedicate himself 100%. In boxing, you can't be halfway in, halfway out. Your career is not going to sustain. It can sustain in the middle levels when the competition ain't that fierce. But when you're at the top of the food chain, that's usually where all the killers are. And you can't be a guppy in a pond, in the fucking ocean with a bunch of sharks. You're not gonna survive. So Subriel understood, in order to swim with sharks, you gotta turn into a shark. And you gotta stay focused every day. And when you're swimming among the sharks, damn it, if you don't have to prove you're the alpha shark in those waters. In the 140-pound weight division, in those waters, Subriel Matais is like motherfucking Jaws, baby. And he's swimming around, doom, 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 doom. And he's just looking for that smoke. And all these guys can say what they want. Usually they talk shit while Subriel is training and he has a fight schedule. That's when they talk about Subriel. When so as I mean this. I truly mean this. Watch for your own eyes. See it for yourself. No sooner that if Subriel Matias is successful against Liam Paro, bro, none of these dudes are going to take to social media and say, Subriel, I want you next. Not one. Mark my words. Matter of fact, I promise you, I freaking promise you, every day for 7 days, I will go on live stream every day at 6 o'clock. I'm going to call it the Subriel Hour, right? We're going to scour the entire internet for an entire week after his fight to see if anyone dares to call him out. We're gonna sit as soon as he finishes his fight with Liam Paro, bro. I'm gonna call it the Subriel Hour. Every day, I'm just gonna go on and I'm gonna look for him, whoever he is. Bro, I'm gonna bring it back to my show. I'm gonna blow it up. In fact, I'm probably gonna email him or I'm gonna try to get his attention, right? To make sure Subriel knows, hey, he's right here. He's right here. He wants to fight you. Because I would like to see them. I would like to see this for myself with my own two eyes. Because shit talking is shit talking. Anybody can shit talk. That's easy. I saw Teofimo Lopez shit talk. But who's he fighting? That should tell it all, right? As soon as he finishes his fight. You know that Russell kid that's been campaigning for himself? And I gotta admit, the Russell dude is not just talking out of the side of his neck. No, he's talking your traditional boxing trash. I like it and I respect it. He's calling out Subriel saying, nah, he ain't on my level. That's keeping in the lines of boxing, and I can fuck with that. Right? Okay. But he is talking trash. Okay. So I'm like, word. That Russell kid, right? As soon as Subriel finishes his fight, I want to see that Russell kid open his mouth. Because I think that'll be a good fight. I would like to see. He's undefeated, bro. That Russell kid is undefeated. So that's a good fucking fight. So I would like to see that. In fact, so yeah, I just think it's ironic that every time he's locked in a training camp, all these guys got something to say. But as soon as he fucking, all of a sudden, he's the boogeyman of the division, and blah, 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 and everybody else is like, nah, I got a fight schedule over here. I'm fighting my sister's brother's cousin. Tomorrow, I can't fight you, Subriel. I would, but my sister's brother's cousin's talking shit, bro. Like, yo, don't make up anything. What did he say? Carter dug Martinez once. He'll duck him again. Probably so. I'm not. Yo, listen. I wish I could find a Paro fan that bet 1K on the fight. Yeah! You guys are crazy! Yo. Regis, what? What'd you say, Bang? Regis was talking crazy. Yo, Regis is talking crazy because you got to. That's that boxing crazy fucking shit talk that I'm okay with. Because Regis lost his belt. He lost his belt. You mean to tell me that he can get himself into another title fight? Fuck it. Fighting Subriel Matais is right up his alley. A kind of guy he doesn't have to run around with. Devin Haney was running all around him. He couldn't catch up to him. He won't have to worry about fighting Subriel Matias. And Regis thinks he's a, and he is. He's a power puncher too. So that's right up his alley. And let's just remember that before 8 months, I have receipts, right? I made a video on it that Hype.com made the interview with Subriel Matias 8 months ago. Now, to these months, it's been more than a year now. But he had already had his eyes on Regis' progress and he was asking for a fight. Then after the Devin Haney, they try to say, oh, he's scared of Devin. He wants Regis. No. With his broken Spanish, he can't explain every fucking thing. And if you guys knew, like he knows, I've been calling him out for 8 months. He just thought you guys were up to date. Most of those fighting fans that made those comments were not under the impression, they were not aware that he made that video back then because they weren't following him. You know, those kind of fans, you know what I mean? Speak up before knowing all the facts. They're out there, they're everywhere. They're not here though. We're intelligent fans here, right? So we all knew it. We all knew it. So now Regis is talking crazy, but he's talking boxing crazy, which I'm like, all right, right? So, look, let's keep it 100. Teofimo Lopez is not fighting Subriel Matias right now. And Devin Haney will not fight Subriel Matias. Isa Pitbull Cruz needs to stay away from the top 140s until he gets acclimated to the division, and I'm okay with that. I understand why he would do that. You're asking a lot from that little guy anyway. 5'4" guys, come on, man. Isa Pitbull Cruz fought his heart out. He became a world champion. He couldn't do it at 135. Devin had all the belts. Devin wasn't fighting him. No matter how many times he fought Tank Davis, that interim world title wasn't going to turn into a world title. When they explained it to him, he's like, shit. You know what I mean? So, and then Esau went and won an interim world title, and that didn't satisfy his clinch. He knew he needed to be a champion. And that little dude, bro, I gotta give him all the fucking credit in the world, bro. Man, he did some shit in that ring against Rolly. I don't give a fuck if Rolly wasn't the most skilled person in the world. That's not his problem. Becoming the 140-pound champion at the world at 5'4", it's like Spud Webb dunking in fucking an NBA game. And when I saw it for the first time, he was like all of 5'9" or some shit, 5'8". This motherfucker dunked backwards with two hands. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And when it goes to show you in this world, they tell you you're too small. You're not big enough. You're not strong enough. You're not fast enough. You'll never be a world champion with these kind of skills. That man became a world champion. And I got to give it to him. But I don't blame him for not fighting Subriel, Tio, or Devin right away. I'm not saying that he's the type of man to duck anyone. Don't turn my words. What I'm saying is he's acclimating to the division. He wants to fight fights that or more long even as so he can get build up with the weight and fight some of those big guys because there's no one on this planet Earth that can convince me that Isaac Pitbull's Cruz is scared of anybody. That little man will fight a fucking rhino. I know it. But his promoters and his handlers, they do the thinking for him. You know what I'm saying? And where that they're saying, well, you calm down, my man. We know you'll fight him. Calm down. But we're just not going to let that happen right now. So besides that, I really like the fight with Subriel Matias and Regis because Regis is a former world champion that recently, not too long ago, he lost his belt to Devin Haney, right? And the people still know who he is. You understand? So that's why I like a fight like that. And if Subriel Matias can do what Devin Haney didn't do to Regis, meaning he knocks Regis Prograis the fuck out. And Devin Haney had him hurt and didn't go in and finish him off. And then that'll show that Subriel is beating all the other guys' guys because eventually, see, Subriel is putting himself in a position where that he's wiping out his division. But the other champions are not on that status. So we'll see. And then listen, and then if you ask me, Devin Haney walked away with still becoming the WBC champion of the world. Man, he should be satisfied with that, bro. Because technically, he should not be the champion. And that's real talk. No matter if Ryan Garcia didn't make weight, the rules are if Devin Haney lost, that doesn't merit him to be still the champion. So Devin Haney wants it all. You mean to tell me he wants the belt? He wants it to be overturned. And a matter of fact, he wants you to grant him the win. Bro, every time you criticize Teofimo Lopez and Loma for being a sore sport and not being able to face that they lost, you guys remember those interviews that Devin Haney was on? He was like, Teal's a fucking a sword sport. You lost, man. Take your win. You lost. And he was laughing, eating the gummies, right? Devin, you lost. Take it like a man. That's it. It's the truth. If Tio had OnlyFans, would be the number one. Yo, you guys are crazy. I just hope Matias doesn't hurt Paro too bad. People might be scared of facing him. It's not that people not might be scared to face him. I talked about this so gone on the beginning of or in the middle part of this video that as a coach, you have to take it in consideration at what cost is it going to be to get a victory over such of a fighter such as Subriel Matias. At what cost? And let's say your fighter goes in there, fights to a 12-round decision, and he wins the fight. You turn around, look at your fighter's face. At what cost did it cost your fighter that victory? You might have fucked up your fighter more than winning that fight. That's why he's real avoidable. Because some coaches are not just looking at it as that their fighter can't beat him. Some coaches are saying, I think my fighter can really beat him. But at what cost? You're going to take too much damage. Sometimes it's not worth fighting a guy like that. Yeah, that's why I commend Liam Pardo for not only fighting a guy like that, but damn it, fighting him in his backyard. You're basically fighting him in front of his mama. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna lose in front of mama. You better not. I never I couldn't dare. Listen, what's gonna happen? All right. So Straight savage, huh? Yeah, but listen, I gotta admit, I gotta commend him for that. Yo, Edwin, how you doing? What's up, brother Carlos? What's up, baby? PR in the building. Look at them guns, Holmes. That's how we gonna be out there. PR. Woo! Look at them guns. I still got I still got one good one left in me. All right. uh, after all the shit the Haneys are doing to overturn the L, making you wonder if he really lost in Mexico. I don't really like fucking care about that Mexico shit story. But what really makes me sick is that damn Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia paid you the money for coming in overweight. Now you trying to accuse him that he deliberately, intentionally meant to come in overweight, but you knew that before the fight. Meaning, remember when they called you in that room and Ryan Garcia offered to pay you the money and they told you you will remain the champion, sign right here? Then you fucking knew it, bro. How are you going to call him a cheater and say he planned to cheat? It's like cheating and he's telling you what he's doing. And you still went along with it. And after you lost, now you're saying there was an issue. There was no issue when you signed the paper. You took the money, and under the terms, you were going to remain champion. You were fine. Had you went out there and knocked out Ryan Garcia, where was the issue? Where would you say that, you know what I mean? But because he lost, now you want the belt, the money. You're not giving him back the money. The money. You want the O removed, and you want the victory. So you want your record to legitimately say that that was a win, not a no contest. You want that to become a dub. Bro, you don't want the criticism that that dub's going to come with. Devin Haney, don't push for that. If even if they was to award him that, I wouldn't advise him to take that. Do you know how many times in 15, 20, 30 years from now, Devin Haney's going to be retired, he's going to be on some interview, and they're going to bring back that fucking dub. That controversial win. Brother, I don't know. And I don't think he should get it overturned to a no contest. I don't think that um Devin Haney knew he came in 3.5 pounds over. He took the money. He signed a new contract. If you knew I come in 3.5 pounds and you agreed to it, where's the cheating? You agreed to it. How's that cheating? There's no way that you can overturn that to a no contest. You would have to initiate, you would have to prove cheating. No matter what Ryan Garcia said on social media, Floyd told me to come in 3.5 pounds over, and I was using that as an advantage. Yeah, you knew that, Devin Haney. When they called you into the room and said he's 3.5 pounds overweight, what do you want to do? We're gonna find him. We're gonna give you the money. Win, lose, or draw, you remain the WBC champion. Devin Haney, what do you say? Sign here, right? What did Devin Haney say? Okay. Where's the cheating? How could you get that overturned when you agreed to it? You have an official contract with both your names on it. You can't get that turned to an O. There's no way. You got to prove cheating. That's not cheating. You were paid. You were paid before you got in the ring from that 3.5 pounds. That money was already in Devin Haney's bank account before they legitimately got in the ring on the 20th. For him coming 3.5 pounds, he already took the money. How is that cheating? Right. Right. And I told you guys that too on my show here at Round One Sports Talk. I was the one that came out and told you all that bullshit Ryan said he was going to pay $1.5 million. It sounded good while he was on stage. I said, I got receipts. You guys can go watch my video. It's there. And I said, why would he pay $1.5 million? He said 50 or whatever, half a million over a pound, whatever he said it was. When the New York Boxing Athletic Commission was going to fine him. And it was going to be something like, I don't know, 300,000, 150,000 or 100,000 a pound. But you guys are saying 9, so it must have been 300,000 a pound, right? So if you're already going to have to pay $900,000, why would you pay 1.5 extra? There's no way around that from the New York Boxing. The New York Boxing Athletic Commission doesn't give a fuck about a personal bet between you and Devin. They're going by their jobs. And they're issuing Ryan a fine that he has to pay to Devin Haney. That fine came back, what you're saying, the $900K, right? Whatever it was going to be. And Ryan was going to end up paying that amount, not the 1.5. And I said that here. I told you. That's how boxing really works. He can yell whatever he wants on stage. They got to go by the rules later. And I said, there's no way Ryan Garcia is going to do that. He's not going to pay 900,000 and 1.5. That's not going to happen. And I told you that. Haney thought he was going to wipe Ryan Garcia out. Don't you understand? When he came in 3.5 pounds over, Haney was like, that really solidified in Devin Haney's head that Ryan Garcia's head wasn't in this fight. Ryan Garcia fooled Devin Haney, and that's what happened. All Devin Haney did, I'm telling you people, was stay in shape. He didn't really work on anything new. He did a couple sparring here and there, staying in shape, your traditional staying in shape. He was working hard. I'm not saying he was slacking on his working. No, he was working hard. But he didn't come up with a game plan to beat Ryan. He thought just Devin Haney's skills was enough to beat Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia rocked him to sleep. That's why Ryan Garcia rocked him to sleep while looking into his eyes. And Devin Haney was saying, you're not going to trick me, Ryan, with your antics. I'm not going to fall for it, and fell for it. That's what happened. That's the truth. That's the honest to God truth. Okay? And Devin Haney didn't show up. He didn't show up. Devin Haney wants all this credit, but he doesn't want to talk about how he underperformed. Yeah. Devin Haney underperformed like a motherfucker in that fight, bro. Tell me, at what point did Devin Haney look like himself? I'll wait. Please put down the round you think he looked like himself, the entire round. Just one. I know you guys ain't gonna type shit. Because Devin Haney did not look like himself. He underperformed. He was in his head. The moment was too much for him. And he got swallowed by quicksand. He was sinking and he couldn't get out. That's it. And he lost the fight. And now he wrote an 8-page letter to the Boxing Athletic Commission, which the lady retired. She stepped down after so many years working there. And it just so happens to be during this time. I find that ironic, man. I don't know what she, If she's really just stepping out, just coincident, might be. I don't know. But things like this typically in life are not coincidence. And some people get fired because they fucked up, and when they fuck up and they ask you to step down, so that way they don't fire you. They say you can either step down or we'll fire you. And she chose to step down. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, 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 yeah. And they don't have to investigate that fucking ref, huh? We don't. Let's not talk about the ref. And then let's not talk about the judges that was prepared to rob him. Nah, 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 nah. It was all Ryan Garcia. It was all right. Yo, bro, I can't believe the amount of fucking bullshit that like it was true, bro. Like all that shit Tank Davis was saying and Tio was saying back to Devin, yo, watch, one day you're gonna lose. And the way Devin Haney was going on interviews, acting and carrying himself like real mature and shit, he can't take this loss. He just can't. He just gotta move on and he'll be all right. Devin Haney he'll bounce back. Hopefully he'll bounce back. Sometimes fighters are never the same. Sometimes it gets worse for fighters. And they go out there and really never achieve that status again once it's over for some fighters as is. The only thing why I don't think that about Devin Haney, he's so young. He's 25 years old. He's 25 years old. He has plenty of time. He has a career still left in front of him. And with this much experience, I think he'll be just fine. He'll be just fine. Devin Haney's going to bounce back. He just got to accept what happened, bro. Yo, you got paid. Thank the lucky stars. You're still the fucking champion. Walk away with that, bro. You're legitimately still the champion. What the fuck are you complaining about? You know what I mean? I can see where he wants it a no contest, but under the amount that they got him for test A, I don't need test B to come back. I don't. If test B comes back, and I mean it, ladies and gentlemen, right? If test B comes back and there's just one number, and I mean one number off from vial A to vial B, that's a mistrial. You couldn't use none of those fucking test results. None of them. Which one would they say was the real one? Who the real M&Ms, please stand up. Right? It's not gonna happen. Devin Haney's gonna say the real one got the most PE in it, and Ryan Garcia's the real one's gonna have the less. You understand? By that one not testing exactly like test A, that fucks everything up. And it fucks up Vada's name as a credible testing source. You mean to tell me that Vada's going to go down as one of the biggest fuck up testing things on the Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, and the NFL, baseball, hockey, tennis, all those other organizations are looking on and saying, yeah, Vada just fucked up Ryan Garcia's testing thing. Yeah, we want to hire them. Ask them to come test our guys. Hell no. Their whole credibility is going to go to shit. That's why test B, 1,000,000,000% must come back exactly like test A. That's a fact. That's why I don't need test B to come back. I don't gotta wait for the results. What results? Need results. Bro, it's gonna test the same fucking thing. When in the history of boxing has test B come back different? Please, someone show me. In the history of any fucking sport without tampering, and that they didn't find the tamperer. That some miraculous reason vial B won't test like vial A. That's impossible. Impossible. Man, listen, that means that somebody fuck with it. Bro, there would be a scandal. Somebody's got to answer for that. Someone's going to jail. Someone's going to jail after that. Get the fuck out of here. That shit's going to test different. Yeah, right. It's not going to happen. Yeah, he told us he couldn't take a punch. And look, he won't never be the same after this whooping. Well, I I disagree to only 40% of that. 60, yeah, I agree with you. The other 40, here's where I don't agree, right? Brothers, it wasn't that bad of an ass whooping where that he's gonna be like Parkinson's. It might be a bad enough ass whooping where that mentally he won't be the same fighter. And that would be up to him. You're right. It could change Devin Haney mental as a mental fight. Yeah, it could. And the mental can be worse than anything else sometimes because you're mentally defeated. You know what I'm saying? As far as he took 4 or 5 years off Devin Haney's life because he gave him that kind of ass whooping, no. All Devin Haney had was a swollen jaw. That's it. It wasn't like no fucking Arturo Gotti fights, Mickey Ward fights, where they was fucking, those guys paid for that. It wasn't like David the Monster Benavidez was blunting fucking Caleb Plant. He took a good year off Caleb Plant's life in that fight. Okay? Those are fights where you can look at and say, he took a couple years off that guy. That's good. That fight's gonna change that guy. Devin Haney didn't get that kind of ass whooping from Ryan Garcia. I mean, it looked bad because it was shocking, but all Devin Haney had was a swollen jaw. That's it. He just got his ass whooped. That's just your basic, traditional ass whooping. You know what I mean? There were mad rounds in between. Ryan Garcia was taking off, and Devin Haney was punching him in the back. Remember? It wasn't just round after round after round of getting your ass whooped. No, Devin Haney legitimately won several of those rounds. You understand? So it wasn't like Ryan was just dominating him. And people were like on the edge thinking about throwing the towel. No. Nah. When Ryan did that to the ref, yo, you need to stop the fight. That was cute. That he was reaching a little. That was cute. Devin was only in the situation where I would have said, let him go out on a shield. Yeah. You're in a fight. That's a fighter. You're in a boxing match. Every time your fighter's hurt or staggering, throw in a towel to save him? No. Nah, hell no. Diego Corrales came back in that fight, bro. And he proved to the world Diego Corrales' eye was closed. He just got dropped in that particular round twice. He got back to his corner. They put the mouthpiece in it, and his coach said, "Kid, I'm about to stop this fight." And Diego Corrales said, "No, don't stop it, baby." And he said, and you can hear the Rocky fucking music playing. He was like, boop, yo, and homeboy started wobbling. He was all over him. Every single time your fighter gets hurt, you're gonna throw in. Nah, wasn't whooping Devin Haney's ass like that. I've seen guys in worse situations come back. Let's find out what your fighter's made of. Yeah, he wasn't giving him that kind of ass. But don't be fooled and don't be dragged into the storyline. Bill Haney doesn't love his son. Nah, he loved his son enough to let him know, is this what do you want to do for the rest of your life? Where you at? I'm giving you the benefit of facts, son. And he gave his son the benefit of the doubt. And he was right. Did Ryan Garcia finish him? No. Did he make it to 12 rounds? Yes. He wasn't giving him that kind of ass whooping. No. Ryan want to be slick like, he ain't never going to be the same. No, you didn't do that. You gave him a swollen jaw, bro. That's it. Shut up, Ryan. He ain't never going to be the same. Nah. I mean, it's those kind of fights that accumulate, yeah, in time. Yeah. But, you know, oh, yes, it did. That did something to that ego. Oh, listen. I agree. That ass whooping did a lot more emotionally than it did physically. I 100% agree with that. Yes, I do. Hell yeah. And that's what I was talking about. That's what I said in the beginning of my conversation. Whether or not he'll be able to get over the mental part of that ass whooping, that's where he took something from Devin Haney. Yes. If it's the mental, yeah. But that's once again, that's how Devin Haney responds. He has a chance to be like, fuck it. I embrace that loss. I got too many wins to think about a loss. I'm a fucking champ. I'm a winner. The fuck this one loss gotta fucking affect me? I won too many times to fucking worry about any fucking loss. Let's go forward. And once you adapt that kind of mindset, you start to go forward. You heal. But the more he keeps bringing this up, court case, writing letters, bro, you're not accepting it. Just be happy the fact that you're still the champion and you took the money. There was no cheating. As far as cheating, you tested positive. We're gonna have to invest. Devin Haney can't just let that go. Like you're gonna have to show me that there's a steroid guy that says 100%, and my steroid guy that says, yeah, he didn't get any benefits. It was trace amounts. And once I see that, then I'm cool. Because as Devin Haney's team, you're fucking right. We got to investigate that. That can't just go like unnoticed. Get the fuck out of here, right? No. But I already know what's gonna happen because the test results in A weren't you see, look, which really means that test A was probably the urine. Test B is probably a tube of blood. The urine test sometimes won't be as accurate. Or you can have things in your body, chemicals that your body produces naturally, right? Sometimes it's hard to detect that. But when they go back and they open that vial B, they're going to see exactly everything that's in his system. And they're going to be able to trace it to the trace amount. Matter of fact, this is how it works. Those kind of tests in the lab. I swear to God on everything I love, this is exactly how good these tests are. They'll be able to determine the date, the time, down to the minute where he ingested it to help him remember where he was at. The minute that drug goes into your bloodstream, at that point in your body, they'll be able to check, just like pregnant mothers in hospitals. If a pregnant mother in a hospital, trust me, I'm telling you, she tests positive for drugs, and the hospital test they text within, I think it's 10 hours, 12 hours, whatever, they get the test results back. They're fast. And they can tell you if that lady smoked crack right before to the time. They'll be like on Thursday at 6:30 p.m., boom, like that. That's how that good they are. So when test B comes back, that's what kind of shit that test is on. They're going to be able to tell Ryan Garcia to the minute that shit entered his bloodstream because there's going to be a spike in his blood. It's going to be like 10 p.m. It was cool, spike up. That's where it was. That's exactly what's going to happen. So they're going to be able to break down everything in his body. Then they're going to fuck around and probably If they want, they could do a hair sample. They could cut a piece of his hair, which is probably the fucking, that shit is ridiculous, bro. That shit can test 25 years, 15 years back. It could tell you what you ate 10 years ago on Thursday afternoon with that kind of test. It's like fucking ridiculous, bro. Yeah. So, like, if it gets to that point, you know what I mean? Then shit's getting crazy because if you couldn't determine with the blood and they had to do more, like, that would be fucking ridiculous. But I'm just telling you that test B is going to be test A. It's just a more thorough test. But it will be the exact fucking thing that test A had. Yeah. But they're just going to break it down to the fucking, like, with test B, it'll be able to determine exactly how much he had and if it had any benefits. That's all. But I mind you, and I will say this again, as soon as test B comes back, it does not fucking matter. Ryan Garcia is already suspended from test A. What they're trying to figure out now is how long the suspension is going to be. Okay? That's what I'm trying to tell everybody. There's no way around the suspension. A judge couldn't acquit you in court. You're still getting suspended because the judge has nothing to do with the athletic boxing committee. They can't order them not to suspend you once you sign the contract with the athletic boxing commission to obey by their rules. And one of their rules is you're responsible for whatever goes into your body. So no matter how it gets there, you're responsible. And if it's a banned substance, then a suspension must be handed down. There's no way around it. That's all I'm telling you to be prepared for. So when half of us know the real story and we're like, yeah, it was a tainted substance, he got no benefit, it got it and they found out how he got it, and we're moving on. And the other people are gonna say, oh, he's a cheater. He's a cheater. If he had it, he's a cheater. They're not they're not taking it. What if this happened to them? What if you took a dietary substance to cut weight and you were an athlete and that was tainted? And legitimately, you've never cheated in your life. You took that substance and that's legitimately what happened. But every day you go outside your house, you got these people calling you a cheater. How would you feel? Now, if you're a fucking cheater, you're a fucking cheater, bro. If it comes back that that it's not true, that he didn't have tenth of a billion, that he was 60 million, whatever they're fucking saying on these other YouTube channels, which is they're just reading the test wrong. That's all they're doing. Because if you know how I got it, because if the guy never even said he had a gram, you would just come out and say a gram. Just like when they say, how many milligrams do you need of that to start working? And the bottle says 30 milligrams, right? So if he had just one tablet, which is 30 milligrams, just one tablet, and they said when we tested him, he tested for 30 milligrams, right? Why wouldn't they just say that? When they start saying 60 times a billionth of a gram, they're talking about 1 gram, not 30 grams. That is one capsule is 30 grams. They're no longer talking about one pill. They're talking about like fucking man, listen. That's why I was like, what? A 60 billionth of a gram, 1 gram. Not, man, I was like, man, that's what they found. I was like, all right. So he probably took a tainted substance. I was like, fuck. I was ready to call Ryan Garcia a cheater. You know what I mean? But because I like Devin Haney. I like Devin Haney. I think that this was the worst thing in the world to let Ryan win because it was going to solidify all his bullshit. Oh, I could train and smoke weed and do this. I was like, no, if he fucking pulls this off, he's really going to fucking lose his mind. And I didn't want that for the kid. I didn't want him to lose either, but I wanted him to wake up. And I think that this was worse for Ryan. It really fucking, I said it. I said that I think the worst outcome is that Ryan can win this fucking fight. And we're gonna watch Ryan throughout the years, like just have this meltdown. I said it, and he fucked around and won the fight, and I was like, damn, fucking Devin Haney, bro. But I'm not gonna let, even though I like Devin Haney a lot, I'm not gonna let Devin Haney just play himself like this and just agree to everything he says because I can't. I did my own little investigation in this, and I'm like, damn, Devin, bro. Yeah, it's true, bro. You you lost the fight, homie, and you underperform. And Devin, bro, he got you, bro. He trolled you. You fell for it. Unfortunate, Devin. You really thought that Ryan Garcia was losing his mind. He wasn't ready for this fight, and you really thought that the skills that you had was gonna beat him. And that's what I really think you thought, brother. And I just 90% of me thinks that way. And I think everything else is bullshit, brother. Like, fuck, bro, you fucked up, man. But you're still the fucking champion. And you took the money, Devin. Once you took that money for the 3.5 pounds, it was no longer considered cheating. You and your team were looking over the contract and you were looking at what he was doing. Your team had to figure out, oh, you missed weight on purpose to come 3.5 pounds over so that you could have an advantage. And you still signed the contract and took the money. So after you lose, now you're going to be like he cheated? You could have walked away from the fight, Devin. They offered you that. That was an option. I know it would have been sucked and everybody would have been pissed, but you still could have walked away from the fight. No one had no gun to your head. They showed you the extra money and you said, I'm going to take the extra money like I'm going to give them this ass whooping, and the night didn't go your way, Devin Haney. That's what happened. And him, if Ryan Garcia never hired Vada to test him, let's just remember he never popped for oxiding because through the other testing pools, he never popped dirty. So had Ryan Garcia didn't do this to himself, actually there wouldn't be nothing that Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney's team could say right now. Now, would they? We got to remember that Ryan Garcia did this to himself. He's in this situation because of Ryan Garcia. Yeah, Bam Haney is fooled at what? Is fooled at 140 before Ryan. The whole world heard him and his up. Yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was trying to point out, and I was trying to tell the world that Devin Haney wasn't a polished fighter. Bam. I did say that. And anybody that's been with me on this channel knows I definitely got receipts. I got a few videos that I wouldn't put Devin Haney way before this Ryan Garcia shit. Months, like 6, 7 months before that shit was even thought of. And I was telling you guys, Devin Haney is not a polished fighter. He's a good fighter. He's just not a polished fighter. Bam, thank you. You knew it. I've been saying it for a very long time. And I was saying I just hope he gets better. And he was exposed before he got better. That's what happened. Yeah, yo, bro. Let's just keep it 100, man. Let's just tell the truth. You know what I mean? I did. In my opinion, Devin Haney's gonna be all right. He's gonna be all right. He just gotta get in there, get serious with it, and come back. Let's see what happens. But all this fucking no, bro, making excuses, trying to get the win fucking tampered with. Now you want to take the O and turn it into a W, brother. You're reaching. Your court case is minimum at best. It's a light pack at best. His court case. You know what I'm saying? So no, you can't agree to the money, take the money, and then say cheater. How the fuck is that cheater, bro? You were notified about the 3.5. Cheating would be after the fight. Hey, Devin Haney, guess what? Ryan Garcia came in 3.5 pounds overweight, and you didn't know about it. That's cheating. I wasn't aware of it. You didn't give me an option. That's fucking cheating. But if you alert me of it, then you paid me sanction and I agreed and I lose, then I say cheating? Bro, you're a sore sport. I'm just saying. It can't be cheating when they advised you. You knew about it. He could have pulled out, bro, and he didn't. And he didn't. So fucking Ryan Garcia is just as dumb. Just as dumb, right? We wouldn't be in this situation if he didn't call the cops on himself. Basically, Ryan Garcia called the cops on himself. Yo. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm like, man, but it is what it is. May 22nd, so that everybody can, uh, I guess nobody wants to believe anybody or whatever. And I guess they need for the test result to come back, official B. As far as my experience in all of sports, VADA can't afford for that test result to come back any different. Their name and credibility is on the line here. The only thing they're gonna do, VADA, now is the thorough one would be, which would be the blood. And that's way more thorough than the urine. Yeah, the urine, sometimes the urine can read off. You know what I'm saying? But everything that was basically in that A1, all the numbers. It's like to explain it the best way I can possibly explain it. You ever have a TV that was out of tune back in the day, where they had like the rabbit ears on it, right? And then you tell that one dude, go in back of the TV and move the ears around, and then the picture comes in clearer, right? You could see the picture, but it's just not clear. On the A sample, they could see the sample, it's just not clear. And what the B sample is going to do is just going to tune it right in. And everything's going to look perfect. That's all it's doing. But it must be the same. You know what I'm saying? And it's just gonna be a thorough more, but it will be the same. I guarantee it, baby. I guarantee it. There's no way VADA can look into man. Listen, their whole company will go down the drain. Who the fuck is gonna hire them? They're not doing that, bro. That's not happening. I'll be shocked. Oh my god, I'd be shocked, bro. It'd be fucking crazy. Hell yeah. Yeah, brother. What you mean I gotta put foil? Or like a conspiracy theory or something? What are you talking about? Am I reading that wrong? Well, I gotta. What the hell is he saying that? You got to put foil on the Rabbit's ears. What? On the rabbit ear. Oh, the TV, the foil. Yeah, 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 yeah. You put the foil on the rabbit ears and the picture comes in better. You know what I'm saying? Okay, okay. I get it. I get it now. I get it now. Yeah. Yeah, but you know, that's all that B test is gonna do. You know, I've been around situations like this. I've talked, you know, in sports, being around these kind of combat sports for a while, you know, and being in and out of gyms that I've experienced situations like this, and I remember situations when guys pop dirty. You know what I mean? And some of these guys took it to the hoop and proved their innocence and how it came, but still going on a list of popping dirty, and because they're responsible at the end of the day for what goes into their body, so there was no way out of it, so these men and women still ended up on a list. Yeah, so yeah, man, you know, Bungard testing positive, Canelo, fucking, you know, there's some big names. Saul Canelo Alvarez is a big name, but Julio Cesar Chavez, bro, he's on the list. Roy Jones Jr. is on the list. Tarver is on the list. Yeah, Tony, he's on the list. Tyson Fury is on the list of men and women that pop positive. Yeah, they're on the list, bro. So that sucks to get your name on that list because your stats and credibility, no matter what sport you're in, it's always gonna come in question. Like, what's his name? Bond, right? They don't want to give him the run shit, I think, or did they? I haven't looked up that in years. Barry Bond, but I remember when he beat Mark McGuire's thing, they didn't want to give it to Barry Bonds. They were saying he was all hocked up on the juice steroids. I was like, but wait a minute, wasn't Mark McGuire on the juice too? They was all on it, like, you know what I mean? But um yeah. And the thing is he never actually tested positive. Fucking, it was crazy, bro. Yeah, so these people got their agenda sometimes, man. But when you're on that list, you're not coming off. You are not coming off that list. And that sucks, bro. That's why I say every athlete is not back there. Just all locker rooms are like, yeah, pass the roids. Yeah. Like, nah, not everybody's going to throw away their legacy like that. No. No, I think that there's shit going on behind the scene. I've seen a lot of shit, so I can't say, but um, there's a lot of things being fixed. There's a lot of things being fixed in the sport of boxing, a lot. So you know we're getting there, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, 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 yeah. We got to that. Baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought you said like the foil. You know when you got those guys that are conspiracy theories and they put the foil hats on and you see the two guys like, why you got the foil on the head? They're reading our minds. Like, you know what I mean? Those right? That's why I went to that for a second. Yeah. But yeah, gentlemen, listen, man, I just bringing some facts out here. Let's talk about this a little bit. It's been an amazing show. Thank you for tuning in, guys, here at Round One Sports Talk. Can you please give the videos a like? Show's been amazing. I had a fun time. Yo, we are tuning in. We're going live for the Tyson Fury fight. So please join me in that fight. We'll all get together, make a day of it. Um, and we'll make our predictions. So until the 22nd, that I basically kind of know what this is going to happen. There's a suspension going to be given out, and I need that steroid guy to talk. I need the professional guy to talk. Nobody fucking else. I want yes or no. Was it high or was it low? No bullshit. I don't care about anything else. Just fucking get to that point quick. That's all I want to know. And then we can either call him a definitive cheater or not from there. You know what I'm saying? Ha 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 ha. Absolutely. I'll even follow you, baby. My man. You know what I mean? I'll show the love. Thank you, fam. Love you guys. One.